What's up, guys? Welcome back to another exercise recommendation video. Today we're going to be talking about the V-bar press down. If you're somebody who wants a strong pair of girthy and voluptuous triceps, this is going to be a movement that you're going to absolutely want to try out. No other movement early on put more size onto my triceps than the V-bar press down, and I credit the majority of my tricep gains to it as a whole when I was kind of in my intermediate state, freshly kind of past that first year of training, and my triceps were kind of in a little bit of a plateau. They weren't, all that impressive. They were a little developed, but they needed that extra push to keep getting stronger and become something really special, and the V-bar press down allowed for that to happen. I actually recall back like 2-3 years ago doing the V-bar press down for the first time, or at least going crazy with it for the first time. I loaded up the entire stack on the cable machine, and I was able to do it for 1 rep. Now, being able to do it for that 1 rep already made me stoked, but I thought to myself, if I got to the point that I could rep this thing, surely the growth would be, pretty substantial, and I was right. That's because the V-bar press down allows for such a high loading potential, allowing for such a high tension to be put on your triceps, that over time it just creates this amazing kind of situation for growth and strength in the area. We'll go over some key points on why it's so great and why it's gonna be a good addition to your repertoire for tricep movements in the future. One of the main benefits of doing a V-bar press down, because of its high loading potential, is that it's going to have high carryover to any of your presses, your overhead presses, bench presses, or any sort of presses along those lines. It's going to be great for addressing the lockout, because when you do a V-bar press down, the movement tension is very similar to that of when you're dealing with lockout issues on the bench, where you can get out of the bottom and then you hit that sticking point and you really have to fight it until you get the rep. And it's going to allow for, again, that 1-for-1 comparison, and then it's going to have great carryover to all of your presses if you get stronger over time and really push it. You'll see your triceps blow up because of how well you can incorporate progressive overload with this thing. I remember when I went from being able to do the stack for 1 to being able to do it for now up to 20 reps, which is 97.5 pounds was the whole stack, and I went from doing it for 1 to doing it for 20. And I mean, I'll put pictures on screen to kind of illustrate the difference it made. But yeah, my triceps got substantially girthier, substantially more muscular, and in general substantially stronger. You know what I mean? So definitely recommend it, especially for the lateral head of your tricep. This is going to be a great movement to attack that portion. It's going to hit the overall tricep, of course, but that portion is going to be the area that gets hit quite a bit. This movement is crazy stable as well. Because of its stability, it lends itself well to also being able to keep the tension on the triceps throughout the entire range of motion, and the movement remains safe and kind of less injury prone than something like an extension might offer in terms of that risk, right? So that being said, though, once you get really strong, you are going to run into the issue of like being able to stay, crunch down and have your core stabilize you, in the sense that the weight is going to become so high that now your body weight might not be able enough to counterbalance it. This is something you can fix if you simply just attach weight to yourself through a weight belt, which is something I believe, what was it? I think it was Dorian Yates that did this. I saw a picture of him doing that, and it's GOATED, the fact that he's doing the movement, and he's gotten so strong that he has to weigh himself down with extra weight. I mean, that's pretty chatty. Once you get to that point, I mean, people are going to be looking at you weird and be like, what the hell's going on with this guy? Cool thing also is if you get like a gym pin, you are able to also keep overloading the movement. So, once you get to the point that 97.5, like in my case, right, now that's not going to be enough because I'm doing it for such high reps. I'm going to have to add extra weight. With the gym pin, I can just, add, a 45, 25, however much weight I need to continue challenging myself, and the progressive overload continues to get milked for a long period of time. And I mean, at some point you might just get so monstrously strong that maybe it's just not enough in general, but unless you're on like steroids or you're just a freak. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So definitely try this movement out and milk it for as long as you can. As far as rep ranges that you should stick to, I highly recommend you can go as low as 5, but you don't want to go lower than that. At that point, it's like, what are you really doing the movement for? I guess you can do a 1 rep max on this, but like, what's that really accomplishing? So definitely go for 5 or higher. And then ideally you would go in the rep range of like 8 to 12 is where I'm always at. Like 8 to 12 I think is a sweet spot for this particular movement, but any rep range is going to work. If you want a gigantic pump, 15 to 20 is going to be an amazing rep range to be in. And if you want to go for more of like a ideal progressive overload, really serious to add mass over time on your triceps, the 8 to 12 rep range is going to be great. And as far as sets, you're going to want to do 3 to 4 or as much as you can handle at this current time. If 3 to 4 is what you can handle, then that's going to be ideal. If you can handle more than that, go for it. I mean, at the end of the day, with this one, it's like you really can't have too much of it. It's low on, its recovery cost is pretty low, and the return is pretty insane. So that's how I'd recommend you incorporate it. And obviously, this is great to throw into an arm day. This is great to throw into your upper body days. Great to throw into any time you're doing your triceps. You can open up the tricep session with this movement or finish it with this movement. It's a great way to kind of do both, but I recommend that you open up with it just because of the benefits of how much blood it's going to push into that area, so that when you move into more like overhead work, extensions, and things like that that put more tension on your elbows, it'll be a lot more warmed up and easy to handle the freaking tension and beating up factor of those movements. I also highly recommend pairing this with a JM press. If you do the V-bar press down first, get your 3 to 4 sets out of the way, get a lot of blood in that area, and then move on to something like a JM press, it's like a match made in heaven. You're not going to be able to push as much weight with the JM press because of the fatigue going into it, but it's gonna be fine because now you're gonna be able to get more out of less weight because you're pre-fatigued, but also because the transition is gonna be completely painless. You're gonna have no issues doing the movement itself, and so you're getting high quality reps with no discomfort, which I think is a great trade-off for what you're gonna be getting out of it. I think that's fantastic. Anyway, that being said, that's pretty much all I have to say when it comes to the V-bar press down. It's a great tricep accessory. It's a great movement altogether. Something that it's a staple in my programs. I use it all the goddamn time. I think it's great. And so if you are looking for a new movement and you for some reason have not tried the V-bar press down, I highly recommend you give it a shot. And yeah, pretty much guarantee you're going to get bigger triceps. So you're going to get bigger, stronger, you're going to look better, and you're going to come back to this video and say, this guy Sturdy Turk might know a thing or two, This guy might be onto something. So again, highly recommend you try it out. That being said, that's going to be all for this video. If you liked the video, found it valuable, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Tell me what you think. Share it with a friend. Leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch y'all in that next video. And as always, bye.